Hi everyone and welcome to this Installer Festival session. Today we've got the national winner, the national runner-up and the rising star winner of the 2020 Heating Installer Awards. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us.
Hello Joe.
Hello.
So we'll go around and we'll do some introductions. So if we can start with Phil, please. Can you introduce yourself and your company and all that sort of stuff, please?
Yeah, so I'm Phil Metcalf, running cooling and heating services. And we're based in Lancaster, offering usual sort of plumbing, gasworks, commercial and domestic.
Todd, welcome. Can you do the same, please?
Hello, I'm Todd Glister of Glister Services, and been running my heating company since about 2008 in London, based in London, and keeping busy.
And Ryan.
Hi, I'm Ryan Carlton from H Heating. We do a mixture of commercial and domestic servicing and installation.
It's a bit like stars in your eyes, isn't it? And you go, and tonight I'll be.
Yeah.
So we'll kick off with Todd. How did you hear about the awards?
I think I heard it through Instagram, to be honest. Just sort of flicking through Instagram. I followed a few accounts on there, Unequaled Heating, Tony Dumble, and I saw that he was like the national winner last year. The awards. Had no idea because I've only been on Instagram myself about 18 months or something like that, and I had a look on there. I was like, oh, what's this? And then when I saw that you could apply for it, I thought, oh, I'll give that a go, and did it that way. So yeah, that's how I heard of the Heating Install Awards initially.
Phil?
For me, it was I was being harassed by a pretty young lady at the installer show. Who can say no to a young lady with an iPad?
Well, so at the show last year, 2019.
Yeah, whichever time the show last happened, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, it starts to feel like it. And Ryan, what about you? Because you were the rising star, so it's a new category this year for you. So
I was the same as Todd really. I have an Instagram account, and someone just messaged me out of the blue saying, "Have I ever thought about entering it?" And yeah, it just went from there. Really entered it, not really expecting much from it, and then well and behold, so.
Yeah, nice. So Phil, when you when you've been kind of accosted to enter, what did you like? Because the entry process is quite intense. You have to pick a job and fill out a form and all that sort of stuff. So how did you decide what to do and how to kind of demonstrate your skills?
So I think initially at the installer show it was just some basic details, and then I think I was contacted to just flesh out those details. And there's a bit of criteria sort of, suggesting, maybe tell us all about a job that stood out for you, or tell us about a job that saved your customer a lot of money or on running costs. Tell us about a job that was, one of your standout jobs, or just one of them that was slightly left field or slightly away from your norm. So it was just a case of pick one of those. Pick one that was really quite difficult for us, quite challenging, involved quite a bit of research, and then it was really quite tricky on site. But got there in the end, and ultimately achieved the goal that the customer had set. So yeah, everybody was happy,
What was it? Could you give us a quick overview of what it was?
Yeah, so it was a really old stone-built building, used as a recording studio amongst other things. It's sort of a venue that's not occupied most of the time. The owner wanted to be able to run the heating remotely, but it was a mixture of radiators, underfloor heating with 2 different boilers in 2 different locations throughout the building. So quite tricky in terms of getting a control package that would accommodate that. And then if you throw in the mixed, recording studio, really thick walls, soundproofing, getting wireless signals around the building was really quite a challenge as well. Ultimately, that's what I mean when I say it was a lot of research to sort of try and find the right package, and then ultimately we did find one, which was really good actually. It just sort of bounced the signal from each thermostat to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, and got it around this really big, horrible building. In terms of signal, anyway. Love the building.
Yeah. What about you, Todd? What was your kind of the one that you picked for that?
This initial one was actually it actually ended up being my old engineering teacher from school. So somehow I remember he said, "Oh, well, I met him maybe like a couple of years later," and he was like, "What are we doing?" I said, "I've just started off my own heating company." And he was kind of thrilled for me, blah blah blah. Sort of 10, 12 years later, he rings me up and says, "Are you still doing that?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And he was like, "Oh, if you live out," I think he still lived at my mum's address at the time. And he was like, I said, "No, I ended up being really local to him. It was only like, I can walk there in like 10 minutes now." It was like, great. And went over the bed, initially quite, as you can imagine, quite nervous about sort of like, you think, "Oh, I've got to do well here," because it's like
You're
my
being
old
judged
engineering
over
teacher
the
and
shoulder,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, you know. So, and he'd already had like a number of quotes when he really, like, not the, the house had like 5 bathrooms in, underfloor heating zones and stuff like that, and they'd put in like a 18 kilowatt system boiler and was doing all the electrics for this much money. So I had to completely design the system, accumulators, everything, and almost upsell it and completely, like, upsize their budget to like what they should be having in the house, and putting in smart controls, etc., front of heating zones, are different, trying to work it all in. And yeah, it ended up being that. So they completely blew them out of the water with the design, and yeah, put in all the products I wanted, and underfloor heating, like boiler, mega flow, accumulators, 5 bathrooms, kitchen. I fitted the kitchen there as well. So massive project in the end for me, but it went really well. Yeah, really well, and they was really impressed.
Yeah, what about you, Ryan? Because I actually don't know that, because I've judged the awards before, so I know what the judges kind of look for. But obviously, the Rising Star's new. So, what was your kind of entry process?
So mine was the same, to sort of describe a job that I either found challenging, or something I'd learned something a bit new on, or something that challenged us to think outside the box a bit. And basically, it was a local school. We originally went during term time, and the water bill for the school over the past month had risen ridiculously. So we got called back during, obviously, the half term or whatever, and we was tasked with finding a leak on the cold main, but the school had extended, I think it was once or twice, and yeah, tracking and tracing the leak turned out to be a real nightmare. It took us 2, possibly 3 days in the end, but eventually got there and sorted it.
So for Phil and Todd, the first kind of wave is the areas when you're regional winners. So how did it feel, Todd, when you were announced as that for your area?
Yeah, but believe it or not, Ryan, I was in exactly the same boat as you was. I was actually trying to find a leak on a job that I was in, that ended up being between a big house and a boiler house at the time, and it was actually being underground. And we got a leak detection company in to find that, and I was at this sort of despair, hate my life kind of moment, and I got a phone call from the heating installer to say that I'd won, which lifted my spirits. So that was. It was a well-timed phone call. I almost thought they were watching me. So I really didn't expect that. But yeah, that's when they let me know. So just in this back-breaking scenario, trying to lift granite stones on his back garden and stuff, trying to fix this leak outside. So yeah, that was a good moment. Anyway.
And Phil, what about you?
Yeah. So to be quite honest with you, I don't really remember what happened when I got told. But it was really nice to sort of win the Northwest one, and to be honest with you, it's like anything, isn't it? You enter things like this and sort of being collared at a installer show, and you think, oh well, I'll never hear anything about that again, and then all of a sudden you get this phone call and you're, wow, brilliant, it's fantastic. So it's like really gratifying, definitely.
Yeah, it's good for you guys to be recognised. Like, we've won one for the show, and you do get like a huge sense of pride, don't you? And then obviously we would have announced the winner at the installer show this year, but because of COVID, we've had to postpone. So we did it still went ahead in May, and we did it virtually because that's the kind of world that we all live in. So Ryan, when you found out that you'd won, how did you feel?
A bit privileged, to be honest. I really, really wasn't expecting it. It was just one of them things. I sort of entered, you know, didn't really back my chances at all. Just sort of, you know, bypassed it a bit. And yeah, when I got through to the next stage, obviously completed that thinking, wow, you know, this is something in itself. And then eventually somehow ended up winning. Obviously, a massive honour to be the first one as well. So yeah, it took me by surprise, but I've put the work in to get where I am, sort of thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, they're all well deserved. And then Todd, national runner-up. How did you feel with that one?
Yeah, that was great. I like exactly like Phil said. I sort of entered, and when I got the phone call for London, I was over the moon with it. Sort of, you know, southeast, and I was just really, really just blown away, really, because I didn't think I'd win it in the slightest. So then to get national runner-up it was just mad, you know, just crazy. And credit to Phil for winning it because it was amazing. But yeah, I mean, national runner-up, I'll take that all day long. It's just a fantastic achievement.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And then Phil, as the overall winner, how did you feel when it was all announced?
Do you know what? Yeah, I couldn't believe it, actually.
There was tough competition.
For the simple reason
that lots of competition this year, especially.
Yeah, well, that's it. For the simple reason that I have this idea that, you know, when you've got your judging panel and they're together for one day, and well, maybe it was in a hotel, maybe it was on Zoom. I don't know when it was, but maybe they're all together for one day and they've got to judge all these entries. So when you got the regional winners, it's like, well, there's probably I don't know, maybe 1,000, couple of thousand entries they've got to flick through. They've really got to whiz through all these entries, almost skim read them, I suppose, and then just sort the wheat from the chaff. But then when it comes to the national one, you know, you've got, was it nine different regions? So your judges then are meeting on that day, that morning, that afternoon, whatever it is. And they're really going through the submissions with a fine tooth comb, you know, so to ultimately get really good marks for, you know, sort of the technical document that you submit. It's real vindication. It's like, oh, a lot of judges have looked at this and gone, yeah, actually, this guy knows what he's talking about. You know, it's just an amazing feeling. And that, for me, that has meant more than anything whatsoever, you know, anything at all. I mean, I was quite shocked to win because I'm not on. Well, I'm on Facebook, but I'm not big on Facebook. I'm not big on. Well, I've got an Instagram, but I can't say I've ever done anything with it. I don't have a Twitter. I'm a bit backwards that way, I'm afraid. So, like, in terms of like online votes and things, I sent out some emails to some customers I thought might just go on the website and do it. But no, I didn't expect it. So I was flabbergasted and just in awe when I got it. It was brilliant.
And then how's it been for you guys since? Because we were just saying before we started recording, like, so when you get like a regional winner or rising star, or overall winner or runner up, have you guys been putting it on your website, putting it on your van and all that sort of stuff? If we start with Todd, have you had any feedback from customers? Is it more from the industry? What's it been like?
To be honest, it's with sort of COVID this year, it's been a bit of an awkward one to sort of get anything, you know, like I'd love to go and get the band sign written, or whatever, but you know, you're not. It's one of them scenarios with like COVID and stuff. It just puts that extra sort of annoyance to it. It's not as straightforward as getting it all going to the printers to get T-shirts made up, etc. It's just like another one of them. I mean, I don't know how others feel. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, like normally. So if you've got COVID, if you've got COVID on top of it, and you think, oh, I was going to do it to whack the logo. So initially, you know, I put it on my logo for like on my WhatsApp number, for example. Just think, you know, if you're messaging new customers and stuff like that, because I do message through WhatsApp to customers all the time, so just looks just nice, you know. Or I've got it on my invoices and my quotes and stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you know, if you're quoting up against other people and it says, you know, regional winner, national runner up, it's just like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing, you know. Like it just sort of cements that they think, oh, blimey, like you know, the other guys haven't got that or something like that. So that does, I do hope that helps. And yeah, I've even had people approach me and saying like, you know, I'm willing to wait. I know you're good. You know, you've done well, and I've seen that you've won the award and all this sort of stuff. So that I've heard that said. So yeah, it's been good. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to sort of say that you're like award winning, if you like an award winning. That feel, and it's like a legitimate. It's a legitimate award.
Yeah.
I've seen enough people called award winning, and you're like, okay, so what award was that? So it's nice in that case.
Phil, have you had people approach you? Have you similar things? Have you been like blowing the horn to everyone?
Maybe not quite that, but certainly customers. You know, I think what did it a lot for me, to be honest with you, I didn't realise how many people read the local paper. You know, it's also seen your picture in the paper, brilliant. You've won this, oh great. And then same as Todd, really. You know, sort of added it onto quotes, to invoices, just on the footnote there. And then it gave me a reason to sort of set up my email signature, which I've been meaning to do for years and never bothered.
Nice.
Did that. Yeah. But otherwise, I wouldn't say that we've sort of, you know, had to anybody on the phone going, oh, I've heard that you're the winner of this award. You know, I don't think most people are that bothered about their boiler, unless they're really fanatical, that they're going to, you know, really sort of go for award. Like, they're not going to comb out anybody who's won an award in, say, roofing before they pick the roofer. But it is like Todd says, it very much puts you in really good stead when you're going up against other people in your industry, and you can sort of say, well, actually, I've got this. You know, I am worth my salt. I do know what I'm talking about.
It's a definite badge of honour. What's it been like for you, Ryan, as well, as the inaugural Rising Star winner?
Yeah, so obviously I'm a bit like Todd with COVID and that. It sort of took away the like physical side of it. I've had a lot of praise from family and friends on Facebook, and the only place I've really published it or put it is on Instagram or Facebook. So I've had a lot of people who I know, but probably not on a personal level, come and congratulate me and, you know, say that they've voted for me and backed me all the way. So yeah, it's nice to hear that someone appreciates what you do, and yeah, it's a good award to claim, especially the first one anyway.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll finish off with kind of advice. So for anyone that's watching this and thinking about entering in 2021, because the process is going ahead for next year, what would you kind of to say to those people, and if you've got any hints and tips? So we'll go around. We'll start with Ryan. What's your advice for the next batch of Rising Stars?
I think if you're on the fence about doing it, just do it anyway. There's no right or wrong. You're not going to get told off for it or anything like that. Yeah, just back yourself. Just be a bit confident and see where you end up. You've got nothing to lose, so you know, answer the questions. Put a lot of effort into it, obviously, into your application with each step to make sure you give yourself the best chance to progress and hopefully come out with an award the other side.
Todd, what was your advice be?
Yeah, I completely agree with Ryan there. All you have to think about is you sort of take 5 minutes one evening and just submit something that you think, you know, it's not necessarily, doesn't have to necessarily look the best, but if you've put a lot of research into it and you're proud of it and you can speak passionately about it, and you know, just take your time and, you know, write a good application out, because I'm sure the other two agree with me. Like, I didn't expect to get anywhere near this far, and here we are. So it's definitely something that you can do, as long as you sort of like, you know, concentrate on it and make sure that you care about it, and yeah, and then see how it goes.
And Phil, what would yours be?
Yeah, don't just put, oh, went to Mrs. Jones's house, swapped out a combi boiler, she was well happy. You know, that's probably not going to win you, you know, but if it's something that's, it just follow the criteria, something out of the ordinary, something where you've actually had to sort of step out your comfort zone maybe, or some time where you've actually just overcome major adversity. It's not rocket science. It's just you just got to put something in there that's a little bit different.
No, perfect. And obviously the team at the HI Awards are there to help out as well. So make sure, go on the website, Google it, go on social media, and then we can get the entries in, and then we'll be talking physically to everyone next year, hopefully. And then we can be crowning the one in 2021. So thanks a lot for joining us, everyone.
No problem.
No
Thank you.
problem.